back to Crochet Confession Season Recap. Fall 2022 to Winter 2023. So why did I do in fall? Not so much. I was focused on my Christmas presents and I'm so happy that I did finish 3 of them. I finished a scarf for my mom, and hello you. I used a pattern from the book Moody, and it has a nice sit stitch, and I used the wool Merino Alice Merino by Katia, and it has such a nice stitch definition. It's 100% wool. It's a superwash one. And the problem with making a scarf is that you have to go a long way and you measure it and you're like, oh, I'm missing 20 centimeters. You go on Money Road at it. You do those row and you're like, I'm still missing 10. I'm still missing 5. It never ends until it does. And you're on the 24 in the afternoon and you're stitching in, weaving in the ends. But I finished it because we celebrated Christmas on the 24th evening with my mom, dad and my sister. And for my sister I made a bag, a little bag for the summer, and I used a free pattern that you can find on YouTube in Chinese. I do not speak Chinese. It's really well explained. There is some English in the video, right in English. So I did the bag really plain, and sorry, and I still have it, and my sister is back to her place because I didn't do the strap because I didn't know how long she wanted it, and I redid it and redid it and redid it, and finally it's done because I use Katia homemade yarn that my aunt gifted me, and at first I was using a 7mm crochet and it was way too big. The pattern is with a smaller yarn, so you do one more repetition of those leaves, so it's longer. It fits like a smartphone, but mine is a bit bigger because of the yarn, but I still have to really decrease with my crochet. But for the straps I switch back to 7mm crochet. And I'm so happy that I did it. It's so pretty and yet simple, because my sister likes simple things. So very happy with this. Can you not eat the yarn? Yeah. Then I did a bralette. I did a bralette this summer, and for the 25 we were having lunch with my aunt's family. It was 7 people, and I was starting to jot down things I could do. I wanted to do basket with this yarn. It's too floppy, so I was like, oh no, I can't do that. And then my aunt, bless her, sent us a text saying she made a Secret Santa. So I had to make a gift for my cousin's cousin, which is a young girl of 20. I don't know her well. So I asked my cousin if our cousin would like a red bralette. She's like, yes. I started that bralette on the 24th at night during Christmas. Worked on it 25 in the morning. Get here. And of course we have to open the presents during the aperitif, the first round of drinks. So I'm like, I'm sorry it's not finished, but she was really happy. She was like, oh, it's crochet, what is it? And her aunt was like, it's a bralette, it's so cool. And I was like, oh, is it? And I spent the meal crocheting it because we had a long meal where we'll talk between plates, and usually when we have those huge family meals, I need to get up and live in the middle. I need to rest, I need to focus on something else. But because I was able to crochet, I don't know, I just stay there the whole time, and we spent a long time at the table, and I was still engaging and communicating, but I don't know, it really helped. And my family didn't see it as impolite thing to do for me to crochet as I was talking to them. And thank you, that was great. So if you have social anxiety, maybe you can try having something to fiddle with while you're talking to other people. It helps if the people are not judgmental of you doing that, of course. And yeah, I have this much left from the bralette. Again, I use Eco Cotton by Katia, so the same as in the summer, and I really like it. It can split a bit, but for Eco Cotton it is so soft, so it's so nice to wear. So I'll make a little something with this, hopefully. I'll have just enough. Yeah, no scrap left behind. That makes me think that for the scarf we didn't estimate well the amount I needed, so I have one ball of yarn left plus some, and I'm gonna keep it for now because I really like this color. It can go into any scrap ideas. I think a nice beige, it's gonna be nice. It's 100% wool. I could return it because it's a local yarn shop, so if you have one extra ball you did not use at all, she will take them back. But I think I'm gonna keep it because we're gonna look into my winter project. Oh no, I have one more. Okay, so this year for my Advent calendar I decided to go for 1 stitch a day, and I used this book. I talked about it in the last podcast, and I didn't go far. I didn't go far because I was on sick leave, but I had a new medicine and it just makes me sleep all the time. It's starting to work, so we're gonna continue it for a bit. But yeah, didn't do much. But I did some. I'm really happy with what I did. That's cool. Look, I finished the first day, and the thing is I made my square quite big. They're 19 centimeter by 19, so I have a nice blanket, and I finished like 3 of those. If you want to see them more closely, look on my Instagram. And this one is gonna be a year-long project. I'm gonna work on this through the year, and hopefully by Christmas time 2023 I will have a nice blanket to cuddle with. I'm really happy with the color. I learned some new stitch, and I realized some are really hard, so I will work on them more, but some of them that looks really difficult are not difficult, so that's cool. It's a nice project. I'm happy to be working on this through the year. So that was that's the first project of 2023. The second one is a cardigan for my grandpa, and it was a Christmas project. Wasn't able to finish it. That's fine, I'm working on it. I finished the back, and I'm doing the front panels on the second front panel. I'm using a yarn by Fielder again. My dad purchased it. No, don't eat that. Sorry. It's Seal 3D. So it's nice. It's big. It's gonna work fast, hopefully. And it's actually acrylic for 77%, and then wool for 20%, and some viscose. And I'm knitting it with a 6mm needle, so it's going fast. Also, I realized something during this project. So instead of decrease, they're doing bind off. And when I first learned knitting, I learned with YouTube videos and with some books. And in one of the books, you should always decrease and increase on the front of your work. and I thought that applied to binding off. So when I will have to bind off on the right side, I will, or the right, whatever side, but you know, the side where you finish, I will have to cut it off and start again. But then I couldn't make nice decreases in that side. So I finally looked up a tutorial and the woman was just binding off on the wrong side. And I was like, all this time. You don't know until you know. So I'm telling it may be really obvious to you, but someone may not know, and it's binding off every time and cutting the yarn and having to reattach it and weaving so many hands. No, you can't bind off on the wrong side. You just purl and bind off pearls. It's a bit more difficult, but you'll find. You'll find if you don't decrease on the same row. You start decreasing here, and then you don't, and you decrease after as you go back. It's fine if it's not the same row. So now knitting looks easier to me. So I'm happy to work on this. I will have my dad try it on before I do the sleeves, because if it fits my dad, it will fit my grandpa, and then we will send it to him and hopefully he will get to wear it. I'm using a pattern by Filda, which does not use this particular yarn and has color work. I don't care about the color work. It has a nice color that you actually knit separately, fold and stitch, so you don't have to pick up stitches. Also on this catalog there's this really nice big jumper. I'm gonna show you another picture maybe where she's turned. So bat sleeves. I used to love those jumpers. I think I have 4 of them, but they've been through a lot, so I will like a new one. And years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I got some yarn, if my cat lets me show you. She wants, for sale. And it's Katia Merino Aran Superwash. It's acrylic and wool. 52% wool, 48% acrylic. And I've got those colors. And if ever I don't have enough, I have more gray and one more of this color. I think I can slip in my leftover. Yeah, I think 3 colors is enough, but it will work nicely, wouldn't it? It will work nicely for also a color work. Oh yes, but yeah, I think this one is gonna be really nice. And the third project is a cardigan for me, but I may ask my grandma to do it. And yarn I bought on sale again years ago, and it's a sit stitch cardigan. It's this one has color work. It's not the colors I picked at all. And my grandma has been wanting to knit again. She'd knit a jumper for a young kid, and this one used 9 or 8 millimeters needles. And I'm gonna show you the yarn if my cat lets me. She won't. I think it's Filda yarn. It's 1 ply. No, it's more than, I don't know. It's gonna peel, but it's pink. I've been loving that color. And can I? Yeah, it's Filda. It's called Fil Polaire. So it's gonna be not natural, but it's gonna be very warm. So I've been wanting a cardigan. Oh, although that jumper, yes, it's beautiful. No, I did not need it. It's store-bought, but no, I have a real appreciation for knitwear. So I got it for Christmas. I was able to choose it. It's big, but it's so warm, so nice. So it's okay. I'm not to that level yet, but I want to appreciate knitwear. I want to wear knitwear, so I got myself one. And for now, that's it for winter. I actually made my plan for the whole year using a lot of stash. I actually scribbled all the projects I was interested in, and I'm like, I have around 24 projects. I have the yarn for most of them, so that's really good. And it doesn't mean I don't have time to, I won't have new projects coming in, and maybe dropping some, because my tasks may change, we'll see new yarn, new patterns during the year. But also, if I get excited about something new, I'm like, oh, does it look like something I want to do? So shall I do this one instead? Oh no, wait, I like this one more. Yeah, I think it's fine. I got some new magazines recently. A friend of mine got me a book for Christmas with knitting patterns. So I have a lot of inspiration. But I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna make things that make me happy. A lot of them are gifts, but I also want to knit for myself, because I actually only have one jumper that I made, and I made it in last January, and it's not the greatest. I want to keep it as a reminder of where I've gone, but I need to make other to compare it to. So I need to finish things. In those projects, a lot of them are near completion. I just need to keep working on them. So it's doable. At least this winter I will complete the cardigan. And the rest, we'll see. Maybe I'll just start them and not finish them. Maybe I will. And knitting and crocheting. Oh, it's such a nice feeling, isn't it? So let's keep going. And I want to work on my stash. I don't want to get to zero stash. I want to make place for new yarn. I'm not yet buying indie dyers yarn because I don't have the budget yet. Well, you see how much yarn I have. You have the budget. Well, yeah, but I purchased on sale a lot. And I think once you take that dive, you're not getting out of it. Like when you start switching to nicer yarn, you don't want to go back to creepy acrylic. There's some good acrylic. This one has acrylic and it's nice. This one has acrylic, is nice, but I have all acrylic yarn in my stash, and I gave some of it away. The rest probably gave away too, because once you're used to that, that's why I'm scared to try mohair, because once I will do that, I will need to pair it with all of my sweater. But it's okay. And discovering what you like, and you might like acrylic because you're allergic to wool, or because you are not sensitive, and it's fine. There's many acrylic yarn that are really nice. But once you get to that, it's not even soft, but the way it works, it's so nice. Well, it's soft, but you know, it's not the softest yarn ever. It's wool, but it's the stitch definition on this. If you're French, it's cool too, because they make it in France. So yeah, I will definitely recommend Alice Merino yarn. My cat is crazy. And I will see you hopefully with some finished object in spring, and I will try to make other videos. Things are tough at the moment. I have planned for many videos, but I don't really have the time to work on them, and that's fine. The most important thing for me right now is taking care of my health, and then above knitting, but maybe not documenting it. But I love watching podcasts about knitting. That's why I'm making this too. Even if it's 4 episodes this year, like winter, spring, summer, fall, then it's enough and it's nice. So I'll see you soon. Bye.